Once upon a time, in a small factory on the outskirts of the city, there was a young man who worked diligently every day. He was new to the job, always quietly completing his assigned tasks without a single complaint. Fortunately, he was mentored by an old technician, someone not only experienced, but also wise and deeply dedicated. The old technician didn't teach with dry theories, but through concrete daily actions. He often said, "Speak less, do more. Never stop learning. Understand every aspect of the job, from the smallest detail to the entire system." Those words became a guiding light for the young man throughout his career. Days passed and then years. Under the devoted guidance of his mentor, the young man gradually mastered every procedure, every machine, and every technical detail in the factory. He didn't just learn the trade, he learned how to be a person, quietly contributing, never demanding, never competing. 10 years later, the old master retired, leaving the lead technician role to his former student, shaped by discipline, perseverance, and humility. And yet, despite taking on his teacher's role, a lingering question haunted him. Why hadn't he been recognized like others? After years of relentless dedication, the young technician had become indispensable. Everyone turned to him when issues arose. He knew the systems inside and out. Still, a quiet discomfort grew within him. One day, he decided to visit his former teacher, the man who had instilled in him patience and passion. Upon meeting again, the old man noticed the sadness in his eyes and gently asked, "What troubles you, my son?" The young man sighed and confessed, "I've done all you taught me, spoke little, worked hard, kept learning. I've given more than anyone, yet others with less experience are promoted while I stay in the same position, earning no more than when I first began." The old teacher paused, then slowly asked, "Are you certain you've become indispensable?" He nodded. "I believe so." The old man paced thoughtfully, then finally said something unexpected. "Take a day off. Any reason will do. You need space for yourself." Confused, the young man didn't understand the point. Still, a part of him trusted his mentor and followed the advice. After his short absence, he returned to work without expecting anything. But that very morning, the manager summoned him with a serious tone, tinged with concern. Yesterday, everything nearly fell apart. Departments faced technical issues and no one knew how to fix them. We didn't realize how vital you were. From that day on, he worked with the same dedication, but he had learned something new. Sometimes, to be valued, one must step back. So whenever he felt overlooked or underappreciated, he would quietly take a day off. Just one day, enough for others to feel his absence. And sure enough, every time he returned, things changed for the better. Friendlier managers, more respect, smoother cooperation. It became a kind of secret to success only he knew. Time passed, month after month, but then one morning, when he arrived at the factory as usual, the gate didn't open. A security guard approached and quietly said, "I'm sorry, your name's been removed from the list. You've been let go." He stood frozen. Everything seemed fine, at least he thought so. Confused and disheartened, only one person came to mind, his old teacher. With a heavy heart, he walked the familiar road once again, seeking the answer to his haunting question, why? He returned to the old house, broken and confused. As the teacher opened the door, he choked out his pain. Why did I lose my job? I followed your advice. I worked hard, took brief absences so others could see my worth. But now I've been replaced." The teacher looked at him with calm eyes and gently shook his head. "You only learned half the lesson and forgot the other half." The young man paused. "The other half?" The old teacher sat down slowly. "You understood well that sometimes people only realize the value of light when the bulb goes out. But you forgot, if a bulb keeps going out, people replace it with something more reliable." The words struck like a lightning bolt. What he thought was clever had eroded trust. "In work and in life," the teacher said, "what matters isn't just impact, it's reliability." Looking his former student in the eyes, the teacher spoke with warmth. "Have you ever noticed? We often take people for granted until they're gone." He paused before continuing. "But you must also understand, if someone keeps disappearing, people stop counting on them. They look for someone dependable, someone always there. Consistent presence can be more valuable than talent." The young man fell silent. What he thought was a smart strategy now revealed itself as a misunderstanding. He had forgotten, trust is built not with absence, but with steadfast presence. The teacher gently placed a hand on his shoulder. "Don't let yourself be used, but also don't become someone others can't rely on. Life is a balance between giving and preserving yourself." The young man nodded, finally understanding the full depth of that old lesson. The wise man looked into the distance and said softly, "Look back on your life. Is there anyone you've taken for granted? A friend?" He paused, eyes thoughtful. "Don't wait until it's too late to realize their worth. Be grateful while you still can. A thank you, a look of understanding, sometimes that's enough to keep them near." Then he looked the young man in the eye. "And for yourself too. Don't let others take you for granted. But also, don't act like you don't need anyone. Work with dedication, not to be seen, but because you believe in the value of what you do." The young man bowed his head. At last he understood that success isn't just about intelligence or effort. It's about balance, between giving and keeping, between being present and stepping back, between true value and how others perceive it.